Sponsor. This is week 38. This is the Face Off review. Big shout out to this week's sponsor. That is Spiders, Alligators, Zoo, and Amphibian Aquarium. For Spiders.
It's a spider petting zoo, or that's the owner's name or something?
It says Spiders Petting Zoo or Alligator Petting Zoo.
But is there an apostrophe after
Aquarium.
the R before the S? There is no
apostrophe.
So it's a spider petting zoo.
That sounds disgusting.
Okay. Well, join me and my family when we go to the Spiders Petting Zoo. Bring your family, and perhaps you'll see me and my son with the spiders. This week we are referring to what I don't know.
Well, we gotta figure out how we're gonna phrase this.
This is the untouchable subject that we've been.
So this is the sexual harassment episode, everyone.
But we need to find a way to make it a top 5, which is the iffy part.
And obviously,
top 5 sexual harassment moments in Facebook.
Yeah. But we're not going to phrase it that way.
I think 3 middle-aged white guys doing a top 5 sexual harassment things will not look good.
I don't know what white.
I don't know. I think that's pretty in tune with culture right now. I think everyone wants to hear what a bunch of straight white men have to say. You know? Top 5s on YouTube and maybe Instagram are pretty popular right now. We could do
mostly
top 5
YouTube.
Sexual harassment moments, but I don't know how to do that tastefully.
Yeah, can't touch this.
But we phrase it like the top 5 most heinous crimes in face off. I almost said Facebook, which would have been that really would have been a different video. But
is that true though? I mean, so many people die, and like the woman gets thrown off an airplane. Like,
hey, obviously
child endangerment, face stealing.
Yeah, it seems like a really violent thing against women, like that. Particular scene was particularly gruesome. But I mean, maybe the most gruesome. And it happens to like a woman at the very beginning of the movie. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's terrible. But would you not say like John Travolta suggesting to have like an incestuous relationship with his daughter is also
it's up
kind
there.
of pretty terrible?
It's making the top 5, I think, probably.
Or how about like Nicolas Cage's Castor Troy groping a underage child's ass? I mean, that's pretty bad.
That was almost like promoted in the advertisements, that scene. So it's like it wasn't like people were meant to like laugh at it.
Well, in the 90s, you would definitely laugh at that in the 90s.
Does Nick Cage does Castor Troy as Sean Archer sleeping with his wife count as sexual harassment?
Ooh, I mean, that's just full on rape.
Well, let's ask Sean.
You're both disgusting people.
There is very little that I'm going to be able to get from all this. Can we please just maybe
how we're going to frame it? So we're going to do a top 5, or are we just going to talk about it?
I don't think we can find a way to do it top 5 sexual assault and face off without it coming back to haunt us.
I get what you're saying, but Chris, do me a favor. If you were going to do a top 5 of the sexual harassments and face off, what would they be?
You know what? Like, I guess the episode really stems from this idea that I guess the Michaels were particularly like aggressive towards women, it seems, in this movie, and have very little respect for them in the movie and mistreat them the entire time. And I think that looking at the movie in this day and age is quite shocking at times. And stuff that's irrelevant to the story. It's just like extra stuff.
I'm gonna need your rank though for me now. Give me a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
They do really write like Castor Troy is like it's a cool guy move to harass women sexually on a regular basis.
Well, again, this movie was written in the 90s when that kind of
it's
behavior
a different time
was kind of championed in a weird, kind of perverted way.
Okay. Thank you, Sean. Well, Tyler, what do you think? I mean, you're the voice of reason.
So
we'll go. A huge mistake to make me the voice of reason on this show.
I mean, it's all relative, right? So
that's true.
So number 5, Castor Troy's Peaches. Let's say number 5.
No, I really don't. Peaches. It doesn't feel right doing this. Really, it doesn't.
Oh, yeah. This was your idea the entire time. Don't.
No, well, my idea was to address the topic of.
Yeah.
I mean, our original title.
Let's rate it. It's like, well, that.
That to be fair, it was Tyler came up with the top 5. But I have run with it.
Oh, Instagram would love it. Sean Alexander, 2021.
No, I said YouTube.
I mean, you could also say that, like, basically setting a couple of John Travolta's colleagues on fire in the laboratory alive is quite awful as well.
I mean, one of them is a woman, so it could definitely be considered a hate crime, I guess.
Because she's black?
Well, no, because she's a woman. I mean, well, I wasn't going to go into the black thing too, but it's abusing like the relationship of a father and a daughter, right?
But it's also like written that scene plays where she's like, "Oh, my dad's cool now." Like it's not like she's like, "Ew, why is my dad being a fucking?"
She's like,
she's like, "Oh, who's this guy?"
Which doesn't give too much faith to the women again in this portrayed in the movie.
Fucking Mike and Mike, the two Mikes.
You know, it makes me think that the Michaels hate women almost as much as Sean.
All right, so where does the choir groping fit into all of this?
Oh fuck, I forgot about that. That's like 30 seconds in. I forgot all about that.
And to remind you, choir groping is a literal physical act that he does. With the daughter, it's all implied, but with the choir girl who's underage, he's actually touching her and committing a crime.
And no one seems to care. He's a priest.
Totally unnecessary caster move, like to draw attention to himself.
Yeah, and then makes like an orgasm face behind her the entire time, like for like face for 25
that
seconds.
Is one of the best shots in the movie though, so he wins some points back, I guess.
What's just so fascinating about that particular scene is that, like, what year do you think that stopped being funny for the reason that it was intended to be?
The touching part definitely stopped being funny pretty quick, but the face is it's still hilarious.
No, it's still hilarious, but they meant for it to be like this kind of inconsequential thing that he's doing, kind of thing, and he's just being silly. But it's like, no,
probably that stopped being funny around the time like the actual Spotlight story came out in Boston, like whenever that was, like 2007.
Fucking church ruined
2000, yeah, like or mid 2000s. That's probably when it stopped being funny.
Right.
All right, so did we find 3 and 4, or are we not? Did we not find?
I don't think we should do it. I think we should try something else.
I think we've left something else far behind now, Chris. Like we've recorded far enough into this to just.
I'll tell you when we've left it too far behind.
Don't you fucking talk to me like that. You don't talk to me like that.
What else is fucked up with that movie?
I don't know. You're the one saying there's all these hate crimes.
Well, it's like you kind of want to watch it because, like, as you're watching, it's almost like rush hour.
Where
like,
does
oh, shit.
Where does John Travolta, like Castor Troy, sleeping with Sean Archer's wife fit into it then? So I mean that's pretty terrible, right? That, or did we put that in number 2 already? No, that wasn't number 2. That's
I don't remember.
Number one was the incest. Number 2 was number 2.
By the way, this is your list, Sean. This is Sean's sex list.
This, I think it's Sean's bucket list.
Number 1 was the incest. Number 2 was the ass grab. So number 3 will have to be. I mean, it actually should be like. I feel like rape is probably worse than all of these. So like. Implied. Yeah, I mean, so that's probably fair. Number 1. Like it's probably.
I feel like that's fair. I also feel like I don't have the authority to like have an opinion on it, but I feel like yeah, it's fair.
What do you think, Dennis Hopper?
Hey, that's pretty good.